And again, however it is you are showing up this evening, just remember it's completely fine, whatever's going on. And just check your sitting posture. Feet, if they're down in a parallel position, hips slightly raised, sits bones slightly raised, hands in the meditation mudra, right hand nestled in the left, and shoulders aligned with the hips. And just imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. So you can imagine there's somebody above you, or very gently sort of lengthening all those muscles, little muscles running along the back. The head is very slightly tipped forward, and the eyes are down looking along the length of the nose. If your eyes were open, they'd be looking at a spot ahead of you about a couple of inches. The tip of the tongue is on the roof of the mouth. Just relax the jaw, and the lips are slightly apart. And let's just bring our awareness to the crown of the head and relax the scalp, the forehead, the eyes, the back of the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, that area around the mouth. Relax the back of the head, particularly at the base of the skull, the occipital bone. The ears, the inner ear, your temples. Relax the jaw. Release any tension in the back of the tongue. You can take a nice deep breath if you like. And then relax the back of the neck and the shoulders. Just allow the shoulders to drop down, the shoulder blades to drop down. And relax your throat, chest and belly, limbs, hands, fingers and feet and toes. And bring the mind to the breath, just noticing the sensation of the air as you are inhaling and exhaling. It's a little bit cooler when you're inhaling. If there are any sounds in your environment, just allow those sounds to be there. Just part of the tapestry of your life. People in your home, pets, sounds of cars outside, traffic. And then very gently bring your attention back to the breath. And just notice what's arising in the mind, what feelings are coming up. And try and put some space in between your thoughts. And then whatever is arising, try not to have any opinions or kind of get caught up in a story or criticize yourself. And just allow those thoughts to flow. You can be like an objective observer, like a scientist, just watching, curious, interested, but not particularly involved. So we'll be sitting on the bank of our river, watching that river of mental moments flow on by. And just knowing that while we're sitting there, objectively observing, we're free from the river. So bring to mind all those people of your life and your loved ones. And I'm wondering, we've been doing this for a while, this equanimity meditation, and I'm just wondering if anybody of these friends, enemies or strangers have changed place. Have you noticed that's what's happened? So your friends, your loved ones, your spouses and children and pets and people you care for, people who care for you, these people are you're in constructive relationships with. And then there's those people in your life who are difficult for you. And then there's the strangers. These are the people that we don't know terribly well. I think that they can change places, and they're all equal. They're the same as you and me, and they wish to be happy. They wish to be free from suffering and having this capacity for this enlightened mind. So I think we'll do this meditation tonight for all these people of our life, and by extension, all sentient beings. So just to remind ourselves, there is no negativity that cannot be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. So we're creating negativity with our mind, with the delusions we create with our mind. It's a psychological process. So we can equally create positive energy with our mind. We can rehabituate ourselves towards more positive thinking, more positive kinds of ways of interacting. So first, with this purification practice, we start with the power of regret. So regret is kind of like a healthy adult attitude towards things that we've done that are harmful to ourselves and others. And it's not that we're looking for forgiveness here. We're not asking for a higher power to come along and just kind of absolve us. Regret also implies that we'll, sometime down the track, we're going to do something about maybe trying to change what we've done or change our habits. So we regret from the depths of our heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma, and we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. So having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we cannot bear the thought of future suffering that we ourselves are going to experience. So logically it makes sense that we would remove these seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any attachment, basically our delusions, anger, grasping, neediness, wanting things, not feeling enough. And think again. I regret causing harm to others, and I'm sick of this suffering. And then what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to refuge, the power of reliance. So we rely upon, we turn to the Buddha, the doctor, who has the methods that we can purify. And it's not we're not asking Buddha to forgive us. We're purifying ourselves by relying, we're healing ourselves by relying upon his methods. So imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. And you can imagine it's a couple of inches above the crown of your head. So try and get a sense of this blissful white light. And he's your guru. You can imagine this is your teacher manifesting in this aspect for your benefit. So he's made of, as I said, blissful, radiant white light. It's kind of translucent, but radiant and energetic. And he's sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. And this lotus, although born out of mud, is untainted by that mud, just like our enlightened potential. Born out of our delusions, yet it's not marred by them in any way. He has this radiant, beautiful face. His eyes are shaped like lotus petals, so they're very long, and they're full and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. So he's accepting you exactly as you are turning up tonight. He has no judgmental thoughts towards you. He's just kind of accepting you. Here you are, perfect. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell, which represents wisdom. The right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. and their being crossed represents the union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings. So the very beings we have harmed, think about them, bring them to mind, and then those who have harmed us. So we just think for both these groups of people, just develop in your heart a wish for them to be free from suffering. And particularly for the people who have harmed you, because of the harm they've caused you is going to manifest as suffering for them sometime down the track. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these sentient beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. So the next is the power of the remedy, and this is the actual medicine doing the practice of purification. So we imagine Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, sort of like coming out of a hose, very forcefully from his heart. And it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sutam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajrama Me Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sutam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajrama Me Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sutam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajrama Me Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sutam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajrama Me Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sutam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajrama Me Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sutam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajrama Me Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sutam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajrama Me Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything but harm, anything but benefit others with your body. So next is a purification of speech, and Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and forcefully enters your crown, filling your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of the crown all the negativity of your speech, and it overflows quite powerfully and disappears into space. So it's a bit the same kind of energy that would force a hat off the top of your head, say if the wind blows or something like that. So you can imagine that all the gossip and the harsh speech and careless and useless speech and lying and talking badly about others behind their backs, getting other people to agree with you, all of this is purified by the powerful nectar filling you as you recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasidi mipiyata sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mipiyata sawa kamasita me sutam shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mipiyata sawa kamasita me sutam shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata Vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mipiyata sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata Vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mipiyata sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata Vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mipiyata sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata Vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mipiyata sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata Vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others with your speech, and that includes what you write in emails, on social media, on cards to people, letters, and of course your speech. So the moment they hear your voice, it kind of brings some calm and peace to people's minds. You know those people you know that when you're around they just make everything seem okay, everything's kind of all right. It's a bit like that. You benefit people with your speech. So you know when to be silent and you know when to talk, and that every syllable that comes out of your mouth will be a benefit to others. It's a wonderful aspiration. So next is a purification of the mind, and Vajrasattva now very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's just the same as when you walk into a room that's pitch black and you switch on a light, that light instantly dispels the darkness. So the same here. The moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, so all the attachment and neediness and anger and depression and bitterness and grudges and just kind of disappointments, irritations, all of this instantly dispelled, just gone by this light and this mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mipiyata sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata Vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sridam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sridam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sridam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sridam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sridam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sridam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. So be really delighted that all your delusions, which are the cause of all of your own suffering and the cause of, for all of us, why we harm others. The only reason we harm others is because we have delusions in our mind. So imagine there's no space now for anything in your heart other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion, creativity and intelligence. So think now as a purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech and mind. And this time Vajrasattva sends light and nectar. It pours into you, fills you completely. And if you wish, you can just do a couple of mantras for each of the visualizations we've just done, just kind of as a double cleanse of the body, speech and mind. Or you can just imagine light and nectar pouring into you, filling you completely, and eradicating even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind. So any potential to do any harm in the future as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sridam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sridam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sridam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sridam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta me bawa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda me bawa sutokaya me bawa supokaya me bawa Anarakta me bawa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda me bawa sutokaya me bawa supokaya me bawa Anarakta me bawa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe. So now feel you're completely purified, not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. So just even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. So now we come to the power of resolve, and first just rejoice in the efforts that you're making to come here night after night after night and do this practice. For some of you, well over a year now. So just rejoice in your commitment, your consistency. And you may have noticed some change in those habits. So I think this is here we make a decision to refrain from harming others and to focus in on some of those habits that we have. So you can choose something to work on between now and tomorrow. Whether it's for 5 seconds or 30 seconds or a minute or overnight while you're sleeping, because you can't be doing much while you're sleeping. Certainly can't be gossiping. Can't be killing ants. So do something, set a timeline that's doable, that's manageable. And this determination to not lie again is what gives us the strength to change. So Vajrasattva is delighted with us. And wanting to merge with your mind, he melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And think, my Guru's body, speech and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech and mind, and my own body, speech and mind are the same thing. And LAMA YESHE used to call that union oneness. So next, Rinpoche recommends to meditate on the emptiness of the 3 circles. So in emptiness there is no I, the creator of negative karma, there is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, just place your mind there for a little while. So we think of all phenomena as being empty, they do not exist from their own side. And we can also think that perhaps the way things are appearing to us may not necessarily be the way they exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this purification to all living beings, to all those people of your life, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And for Lama Zopa Rinpoche, Ho Tub Shul Chang Shin Jam Gon Galloway Tenzing Kyong Pelway Kunzo Dog Porze Chog Sum Kurway Leg Mon to a Drub Pa Dog Sog Dulje Gondu Jab Ten Shok. And for Lama Ursul, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us and intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please live long. The Geshe Cherub, beloved teacher leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path, you are the unequal guide. Please live a long and stable life. Okay, everybody, lots of love, good night, sweet dreams. And this time tomorrow, I will be an American citizen. Yay!
Congratulations.
Yay.
So I go in.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm going to San Francisco tomorrow to take the oath ceremony.
Oh, wow.
So it's pretty exciting. It's a beautiful. Yeah, it's a very exciting day tomorrow. Okay.
Congratulations.
Thanks, everybody. Lots of love.
Thank you,
you.
Sarah.
All right. Bye.